Welcome back to another edition of How About Them Cowboys. I'm your host, Spud. This is my co-host, Shay.
Hey.
We're in week 3 right now, and just before we get into week 3, we're going to talk about our experience in Dallas right now. We went to go see the stadium. We had an awesome time when we went down there. There's a lot of things that happened. Shay, you want to just talk about the stadium just real briefly?
It's kind of hard to be brief because the stadium is awesome. Jerry Jones set out a lot of records building the stadium, and actually we had a chance to do the tour. And if you do get a chance to do the tour, it's an amazing experience. And just to know how it was built, how long it took, the aspects and the dynamics of it, and I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful dome.
Just the stadium in itself is beautiful.
It's awesome.
But let's talk about these new shirts we got. How about the Cowboy shirts that we got when we down in Dallas? These are awesome shirts. It complements our show very well. Let's go right into it. Post-game reaction. The Cowboys win against the Redskins, 18-16. Yay! Cowboys win. Okay. So let's talk about some of the things that happened. The defense played very well. The Marcus Ware posting the sack. Anthony Spencer doing that big play at the end with the fumble. Let's talk about the defense. What did you think about the defense? What did you like about the defense?
Everything. I mean, what was there not to like about the defense? I think that they played really good. Of course, I'm always looking for them to step it up another level. But I think that they just came out and they brought it. They was like, this is what we're going to do. We know that we need to stop the Redskins offense. So we're going to do it. We're going to get it done. And they got it done.
I was particularly impressed with Allen Ball. Allen Ball came out. He hit very well. He covered well. I mean, at the beginning of the season, I had a lot of questions about Allen Ball. But Allen Ball, you've answered a lot of my questions. And if you continue to play like this, you're going to be a baller, okay? You're going to be a baller.
I agree. Last year we was shaky, but it was,
The offense. It was sloppy. The offense was sloppy. I'm not talking about the snaps. We're going to talk about the snaps, but we're going to just talk about the offense being sloppy in general, with the wide receivers not knowing what routes to run. Some of them were in the wrong place at the wrong time. The timing seemed to be a little bit off now. Tony Romo has been working with Ogletree and a few of these wide receivers before, so it's not like there's anybody new except for Robinson with number 81. He was carrying the ball recklessly, like he didn't know, like D'Angelo Hall likes to come behind and strip the ball.
Yeah.
The offense was sloppy, but let's really key in on some of the things that happened with the offense, which was the snaps, which was the really big thing that was bothering.
Cost us the game.
It was bothering me a lot because I've seen Tony Romo pick up snaps and do some crazy stuff, but 4 of them in one game is way too many.
Not only that, he had broken ribs doing this. So it's like you want him to turn around and fall on the ball. He has broken ribs. He's not working 100%. So that's a big issue.
But it wasn't really the thing. Later on during the week, we discovered or we found out that Stephen Bourne, which was a good defensive lineman for us last year, hit the Redskins on our calls, and the center was hiking the ball because he thought that was Romo figuring out the calls. Let me tell you something,
Daddy.
Let me tell you something, okay? You got to know what Romo's voice sound like. Okay? You got to know what he sound like. You got to know what he is, okay? If that other dude on the sideline talking about some kill, Omaha, 6'7", you got to know that that's not Romo, okay? Romo don't call Omaha, so you don't even look around and hike the ball when Romo say, okay? He does not call Omaha. He calls kill, and he calls motion, and he calls jet blue, whatever that is. That's what he calls, okay?
Well, that's not... I'm not making excuses, but he is just coming back from injury reserve. So hopefully from now on, he can actually get it together. And I know that during their practices, snap calling is going to be one of the biggest things that they're going to work on.
Well, he know I just said. You be listening to me what I just said. Okay, Jason Garrett play calling. We always want to talk about Jason Garrett's play calling. It's always a big deal for me. I know it's a big deal for a lot of other people. I know a lot of other my fellow Cowboy people. We always be talking about how he called plays, how so aggressive he can be at one time, and so how so unaggressive he can be at one time. But let's talk about his play calling. What did you think about his play calling?
I think it was all over the place. I think a lot of it just really didn't make sense for me. I was in the stands, and I'm like, what are you doing? Why are we running the ball when we should be throwing it? Or vice versa. It's just a lot of his play calls just to me, really did not match up. And that can, again, cost us the game. It's these little things that can actually cost us the game.
I actually believe that Jason Garrett got a call from Jerry Jones. Okay? I think he got a call from Jerry Jones last week about his aggressive play calling, and Jerry Jones probably told him to take it down a notch, okay? Because he was just so unaggressive. He went in and he just did not challenge calls. I want to talk about that interception that he did not challenge that Terrence Newman had.
And we look crazy. We look crazy.
And we were at the game and they kept showing the replay on this really, really
big
screen.
And the commentators don't help. They're like, well, what is wrong with him? Why didn't he call it? We thinking the same thing.
He was not aggressive, okay? But we won.
We won.
So maybe whatever he did was good enough to win this week, but we're going to
I don't want good enough.
I don't want good enough next week. Let's talk about Tayshard Choice. Tayshard Choice, in the fourth quarter, my friend, you decided that you can catch a pass from Tony Romo. You ran towards the sideline. No, actually, he didn't catch a pass. He ran the ball. And he ran to the right. And you decided that it was a great idea to run out of bounds. I'm a little puzzled about that. We're going to move right along, okay? Because we know that you didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, he wasn't thinking. He was not thinking.
Did not mean to do
that. It's okay. I got your back, CC. I got your back. Nobody has your back. I have your back. And I've
been supporting you for these past couple of weeks. I've been saying we need to see more of you, but we don't need to see more of that.
I agree.
That cannot fly, okay? Doesn't fly. I'm not having it. Look at my eyes. I'm not having it. Brian Arakpo. Later on during the week, I discovered that Brian Arakpo was on the radio show talking about Tony Romo. He was on the field talking about Romo was not this, Romo was not that. He was like, we were just overhyping him, that his rib injury, that basically he was faking it. Mm-hmm. That the NFL was trying to remake or relive a Brett Favre, how Brett Favre used to play through injuries, and he was like the king of injuries and all this other stuff. He played well when he was in injuries. I think Arakpo was just hated because he was, wasn't playing well. That's what they do. But let me ask you, Shay, what do you think about Arakpo's comments?
But you want to know my favorite thing about the Redskins?
What's your favorite thing?
Nothing.
Bam. And that's how we gonna end it, okay? Next week we play the Detroit Lions next week, okay? Detroit Lions are on fire. Matthew Stafford is coming in. He's lighting up the boys. He's throwing the ball down the field. Calvin Johnson always looking good. He's a man beast. Calvin Johnson, number 81. You are a man beast, okay? But not this week. Not this week. You got to be a little boy, okay? A little boy, but not a man beast, but a little boy. You're going to get yours, but we're going to get this done, okay? But let's talk about Detroit as fourth and pass defense. That's going to look awesome because we're third in passing offense without Miles Austin. Okay? So, we're only second to the Saints and the Patriots. That's Drew Brees and Tom Brady. So, I look forward for this matchup. My prediction for this game is going to be 28-14 Cowboys. What's your prediction?
Yeah, we win, of course.
I know we're gonna win, but
I don't know. I'm not really too keen on the scores. I know that we can shut them down, especially if we have most of our offensive players, and if we actually get things together, I can see us winning by 2 or 3 touchdowns.
All right, 2 or 3 touchdowns. So 21.
That was good to me.
Okay, so we're going to take a look outside the league, see what's been going on around the league. There's been a lot of exciting things happening this week outside the Cowboys facility. We're going to talk about Tom Brady and the Buffalo Bills. Last week on the show, I said that the Buffalo Bills would go and get their first win against Tom Brady and them in like over 7 years.
Yes.
I said this, and we asked the question, was Fitzpatrick for real?
You did. You asked me.
And I think that after this game, he just proved to us that he's for real, and the Buffalo defense has proven that they for real, picking off Tom Brady 4 times.
Consistency is needed. If they consistently do it, then they'll consistently get wins.
I've never seen anything like this. I've never walked into a sports bar or anything and somebody said, "Oh, Tom Brady has thrown 4 interceptions, 4 touchdowns, but not 4 interceptions." Okay, 4 interceptions is that's more like a Jamarcus Russell level. You know, that's not Tom Brady. Last time I seen that, not Tom, but Peyton did that, and I was like, ooh, I don't know, but Buffalo went in there and they got that win, and they were down 21 points. I'm just trying to figure out, how did you blow that deal? And I know Bill is at home like, we about to get this. We about to find out.
But with the Patriots rules though.
Doing it the Patriot way. Let's talk about another letdown. Let's talk about Minnesota letting it down against the Detroit Lions, who we play this next week.
I picked them too.
I picked Detroit also, but I just 20-0. I just don't see anybody coming back out of that. It's just like,
it's sad. And McNabb is just kill. That's what I can say.
Oh man, 20-0. When you're up 20 points going into the half, there's an emphasis to run the ball. Your best player is Andrew Peterson, and
utilize him.
And you give the ball to him 5 times. I don't know. That's like going in and just running a wildcat when your best player is Tom Brady.
Fantasy people weren't happy using.
I don't see. I understand. That's me, But let's talk about Oakland upsetting the Jets.
Who would have sunk it?
I called it.
You did call it. You did call it.
I like the way Oakland is playing.
Oh no! You called it though. That was a good call.
I like the way Oakland is playing. Okay, I think Oakland is for real.
What about Campbell? What you think about him?
I think Darren McFadden is for real. I'm not gonna talk about Jason Campbell, okay? Because he said it's one of those players that just make me feel kind of funny, okay?
Well, that's why I asked.
He shares my last name, but we have no relations, okay? He don't play like a Campbell. He's not big time. Because if he was playing like a Campbell, he'd be playing like Peyton Manning right now. I won't Peyton Manning, but you know what I mean. Okay?
Is that right?
You know what I mean. Okay. So let's talk about some of our matchups that's going to be going around the league. One of the matchups I'm really and particularly looking forward to is the Bout Dem Cowboys and Detroit Lions. I'm always looking for our matchups, but just because this is a great matchup. Last year, John Kitna led this team. This year, we get to see Tony Romo come back and lead the team. Last year, Sean Hill led their team. This year, Matthew Stafford comes in. And, we already said our predictions. Another one is Baltimore and the Jets. Baltimore has been inconsistent for some weeks now. Mm-hmm. They blew week 1, came back week 2, and just ta-ta on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ta-ta, okay? That's my new word whenever somebody get that ta-ta. By the way, Baltimore put that ta-ta on the Rams. Okay, but everybody puts ta-ta on the Rams, so let's just move it, okay? New England and Oakland. Now, New England is 32nd in pass defense. That means their defense is suffering, which will explain why Tom Brady has been throwing for 400 yards for the past 3 weeks. 500 the first week, 400 the past 2 weeks. The reason why, because the defense is suffering. Darren McFadden is coming in. He's running at 150, 171, so watch out.
This is a chance to come back. I better watch it.
Who do you think going to win this game?
Between New England. I think this is their chance to come back. I think they got it.
I'm actually going with New England too because I never go against Tom Brady twice in 1 week. So I'm going back with Tom Brady. Okay, I know Tom is terrific, and that's where we're going. Baltimore and the Jets.
I'm gonna go with the Jets because I think they got something to prove. I think they're ready.
Baltimore. Well, that's all the time we have, folks. This has been How About Them Cowboys. Again, I'm your host, Bud, and this is my co-host, Shay.
Until next week.
Adios.